Hello and welcome to what I hope will be a short video about search in Casedo. I'm not going to try and teach you the basics of search. I'm going to assume you understand what that is. Instead, I want to just run through a couple of the different ways you can use search in Casedo specifically and to get slightly different benefits and so sort of turbocharge your analysis process. So to start with, obviously the basics, we have a universal search function Casedo up here at the top left. If I type in a search term into that, you will see that what the result is to highlight the words found, and what it's done is search all the documents here in the index and given me two results, and I can tab through those here. There's one there, and there's another one right down in this case here. So as I say, that's how search works, the basic functionality, but I use search in slightly different ways. There's a term here, beneficial loans, that I know appears in my document somewhere, and I want to find all instances of that. So I type in beneficial loan, I see three results here, and I can tab through those to see where that's referred to. So search, the obvious use to find a rare term. The second way I might use search from Casedo is to jump quickly to a document. So, for example, I've got a long list of cases here, but say I want to jump straight to the case called Hewitson. If I search for Hewitson, I can very quickly find the beginning of that decision. It's Hewitson, and that might save me looking down a particularly long index. The third thing you do with search is to find the sort of next instance of a term. So I might use it when I'm in a document to find a specific place. And this makes use of the fact that search in Casedo starts in two different places. So if you go to this case, say, and if I type in the word discussion, that will give me 18 results. And if I press the arrows up here, I'll go to the first result. But I don't want to go to the first result. I'm reading this case, and I want to go to the section starting discussion. So if I type in discussion and press enter, it will jump me not to the first result, but to the 15th, which is the next one in this case. And if I tab down to the 16th, you'll see I can jump to the discussion session and add a bookmark, which I might do there, and then I won't have to search for that again. I'll have it in my index. The last instance when I use search would be to sort of help me when I'm reading something. So, for example, if I take this case, and what I'm really interested is in test for reasonableness, I might search the word reasonable, and then as I search this case, I can read it or I can scan through it, and I can see here the judgment begins talking about reasonableness. It uses the word. If I scan down, I can again read the next paragraph that mentions reasonableness, and I can just quickly scan through and find very quickly within a longer case the paragraphs that use a key term that I think is relevant to what I'm thinking about. So you can see that different ways of using it for different scenarios. One other thing that I've been asked about before is do we have the ability to add quotation marks around a term to make it specific? So, for example, if I want to search for the word number 12, often this happens with numbers, I get 416 results. And if I tab down, you see some of them are for simply the number 12, but some of them are for date 2012, and some of them are for other 12ZM or etc. And what you might want to do, in fact some of them will probably be for longer numbers, and you might want to not include things. So for example 1, 2, 3, you'll see page 1, 2, 3 is caught, and if I'm only searching for 12, it's also caught. But I can get this effect by using spaces. So if I add a space after 12, you can see 1, 2, 3 is no longer captured. I've only got 74 results instead of 123. So that allows me to catch things spaced behind. It doesn't stop me catching 2012, but if I add a space in front of 12 as well, I'm now down to 16 results, and these will just be instances of the number 12. So that's a way where you can sort of use spaces in the search term to separate out specific parts of text. The last thing I wanted to mention was a couple of things around performance. the way search works in Casedo is that when you first do a search, when you first build your bundle, the bundle is sort of created. Every time you reorganize documents, it recreates the list of documents. And when it does that, it has to research the entire bundle the first time. So the first time you do a search, it takes a bit longer than the next time. So the first time I searched for 12, you can see it takes a little while. And there it is. It's now searched the entire bundle and I can jump through. But if I now search for a different search term, it's very quick. And that's because it's already searched things. So it's wise when using search in a high pressure environment, for example, a court or a conference, or to run a search at the beginning so that you've had that done. And when you need to quickly find a term using the search function later on, it will have already done that indexing, we call it, and will have already searched the document, and all the search will work much quicker. The other thing to mention is that obviously it will only search documents that actually have text in them. And if a document doesn't have text in them, the computer can't search it. To get around that, you can use the OCR function with the recognize text, optical character recognition. So if you take a document and hit recognize text, that will convert a document to searchable, a searchable format, which can be very useful, but where it does take some time. The last thing I wanted to mention in search is something we've been asked about, is searching for page numbers. So if you, some people, in using PDF viewers with court bundles want to be able to search for a specific page number. We can't do that in the normal way, but we have a special go to page function up here. So if I search for page 564, that doesn't exist, the bundle's too small. If I search for page 87, I can jump straight to page 87. So that we have a dedicated go to page function instead of actually searching for those as text. And that works even if you've got inserted pages or you're using A/B pagination. So now I can search for B14, say, and you'll see I can jump straight to page B14. So page number search works with a different specialized format. That's all I wanted to say. I hope that's helpful. Do obviously get in touch if you've got any further questions, and happy searching.